Joe. May I please enter postulancy?
Practicing as a postulant will take you to the center of your heart and mind. It's difficult. What makes you want to go?
To appreciate fully.
What of your brothers and sisters?
Much love.
I'm happy to share this way with you. Place these on your raksu and ask the assembly to care for the way by caring for you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can people in the back hear okay if I speak about this? So I just want to say a few things before the celebration this morning. First about this simple ceremony of Dokyu will entering into postulancy. Postulancy is a period of time when someone has the aspiration to become a priest, where they enter into a period of training before their ordination as a novice. And Dokyu has practiced at Buddha Ai for many years, on and off, in different capacities, and gave rise to this aspiration to train as a priest. And we talked while he was in Colorado over the computer many times, and then he decided to move back here to Eugene to study and practice at Buddha Ai, and to study to become a priest. And there's something I'd like the community to understand about this. It's true that priests are raised by our teachers. That's a central relationship that has been maintained for 2,500 years since the time of Shakyamuni Buddha, generation after generation. There's something very explicit and clear about that relationship between a teacher and a student, whether they're priests or otherwise. So I think that part is easier to understand, the explicit part. But there's another important aspect for us to understand, and that is the way in which the teacher-student relationship is like a symbol. It's like a symbol of something much deeper and more mysterious than just like one person teaching another person something. That really the teacher-student relationship is a symbol for the whole community. I do not raise priests. You raise priests. That's been true of me, and it's been true of all of the people practicing as priests here at Buddha Ai Temple. And of course that's true also for people who are not priests. I don't raise students to understand the Dharma. The assembly does that. The community does that. The world does that. The earth does that. And so there is this very specific relationship that we can see, we can call out, and Dokyu will put these little white squares on his raksu, which we affectionately refer to as targets, right? It's to remind you that engage him in the way that he wishes to be engaged. See him as a person of the way, someone who's endeavoring to live a temple-centered life, a life in which he's caring for this place, for the good of the whole community. So I just want to ask you also receive dokyu as a student. That is the importance of us coming together. Just a couple of things about the flower festival today. I gave a talk last week that was much more, full talk about the Buddha's birth and the myth behind the ritual that we're going to do this morning. And so I hope people had a chance to listen to that. But I want to invite you to something this morning as we're practicing together. We never thought this when we put this gravel here, that this would be the most interesting thing in the whole temple, but it turns out it is. So the story, very kind of simple version of the story of the Buddha's birth, that Mahamaya, his mother, was traveling back to her parents' home to have her child. And she was passing through a beautiful park called Lumbini Park. And she stopped there to rest and to bathe. And so after bathing and resting a bit, it said that she grabbed onto the branch of a sal tree. It's a beautiful flowering tree. And then the baby Buddha was born. And after the Buddha was born, it said that he walked in the 10 directions, 7 steps, and then returned to the center with his right hand pointed up and with his left hand pointed down. He said, "Above and below the heavens, I alone am the honored one." It said that 2 great dragons appeared and poured water over the Buddha to bathe him. So this is the mythology of the Buddha's birth. And so you'll see we have this statue here of the baby Buddha pointing up and pointing down. And we will be the dragons this morning, bathing the Buddha. But as we do that, as part of this ritual, I want to encourage you to think about that line. Above and below the heavens, I alone am the honored one. Of course, there's one way we could take this as just being a kind of sectarian declaration, right? That the Buddha's saying, I am the one who knows, other people don't know. That's not the way we understand this sentence or this declaration by the Buddha. Above and below the heavens, I alone am the honored one. What is that in your own heart and mind? What is the thing that stands in that place, that talks to you again and again, maybe sometimes whispers, maybe sometimes yells, but asks you to come forward with your own true nature, to encounter the world not just as an object of your subject, but that part that whispers to you about the possibility for true peace and a true elevation of the world together, not just myself. I believe this is what the Buddha was referring to, or this is what the myth refers to. So no one can tell you what that is. That can only be birthed through your own heart. No teacher can give that to you. No teaching can give that to you. Nothing. So this is an invitation. This kind of a ritual is an invitation for you to take care of that, to respect it, to unfold it, and to wash it, to bathe it together with the communion. I encourage you to cherish that baby. And don't think of that baby as being abstract at all. The baby's fleshy. Like our baby Buddha here is roly-poly, right? When you hold a baby, how delicate but how alive they are, and you just want to squeeze them. I remember biting my oldest daughter. I don't know if she remembers that or not. She was like maybe 3 months old. She was mad at me for a few days, but you just kind of you want to do that, right? So this isn't kind of like abstract spiritual thing I'm talking about. I'm talking about that thing that you just know. It compels you to care for it, to unleash that in your heart and into the world. That's the point of the Buddha's awakening, and why we do this ritual together each year. So in a moment here, I'll stop blabbering, and there'll be a formal round of bells. There'll be some formal offerings that are made. During the prostration part, please feel free to just to bow standing, or not to bow, however it is that you like to practice. But you don't. For those of you who are used to prostrating, you don't need to go all the way down. I have a bowing mat, so I'll be able to make prostration. And then there'll be a reading, a formal declaration about what it is that the ritual that we're doing together today is. And then there'll be a chanting of the Heart of Great Perfect Wisdom Sutra, which I think people have copies of. When you arrived today, I think they were handed out. If you don't, in a moment here, we can get those to you. And then after that happens, there'll be a simple call and response of some short lines that talk about bathing the Buddha. And then we'll all chant the mantra of Shakyamuni Buddha, and then the whole assembly can come forward and bathe the Buddha. We have 3 dippers, and so just if people come, around kind of in a circle, don't have to be too ceremonial about it, like making lines and everything. Just kind of come in, and after you pour a couple spoonfuls of water, hand that to another person, and then once everyone has had the opportunity to bathe the Buddha, then we'll do the dedications of merit and finish. I'm so sad because normally on this day, we all eat rice pudding together. Big buckets of gorgeous, milky rice pudding that we weren't able to do last year either. So next year, when COVID is over, that will be here. So if you want to stop eating somewhere the beginning of April next year, and then you'll be ready to fill up on the rice pudding. And then you can be roller-coated. Up and down, fingers pointing, the directions of sap, ascending to the crown, the lone honored one releases all position. Petals fall, sweet dew, returning to roots, with trees, always with trees. Buddhas bloom this world.
the Dharma world, never leaving the source. By the power of your great compassionate vow, you appear throughout all times. Gazing up, we humbly pray for the pure light of your compassion and wisdom. Here this day, April 4th, 2021, at this temple, Eugene Kidenzan Shobo Butsu Genji, we directly meet the day of birth of our great benefactor and founder of the doctrine, the original teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha. We have made offerings of incense, flowers, light, sweet water, cakes, and tea, respectfully gathering the present pure assembly. We bathe the pure body of the Buddha and recite the Heart of Great Perfect Wisdom Sutra. We reverently offer the merit so that we may repay the Buddha's compassionate blessings. The following is humbly considered. Like the auspicious appearance of the Udambara flower, long moving the fragrant air of wisdom that permeates the myriad worlds, sharing the light universally throughout the myriad heavens. This is our refuge and practice. At the end of 3 incalculable eons in your final body, its great marks of 48 adornments, you first spoke. Above and below the heavens, I am the sole honored one. From the 300 assemblies of your final rebirth to the countless assemblies down through the ages, far and wide you poured out your compassion. For over 2,500 years, the resonance of your great teachings has penetrated the heart of this world. We humbly pray that the light from between Buddha's eyebrows shall benefit coming times, and that his deeds may profit countless beings. May the heart lotus of myriad worlds open and spread throughout the Dharma lands, in acceptance of the benevolence of our original teacher, the Tathagata. Humbly stated on April 4th, 2021, by Bhikkhu Ejo, Abbot of Eugene Kidenzan, Shobo Butsu Genji, who has inherited the teachings. Humbly stated. Sammanda Buddhanam Bhagavato Magu 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 Sammanda Having dented the heart of greed, perfect wisdom Sudra, and having bathed the pure body of the Buddha, we reverently offer the merit due.
great benefactor and founder of the doctrine, the original teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha, who was born into the world on this day. May we repay his compassionate blessings.